when you indicate that the THC CBD gummies as well as the bag, was that consistent with its Cities Exhibit 1 that you saw here in the courtroom today? Yes. Okay. No further questions, Your Honor. Sure. Mr. Pretorius, similar to your opportunity you have an opportunity to ask Officer Horsley any questions about the facts of this case, including your interaction with him. I'll just remind you, you do have an opportunity a little bit to testify on your own behalf. You have an opportunity a little bit later on to make some arguments. And this is an opportunity to have any questions for Officer Horsley. Do you have any questions you want to ask Officer Horsley?
Yes. Do you uphold our Constitution?
Go ahead, uphold our Constitution?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you work under color of law?
Try my best to.
Title 18, 242, yes? And you know that is treason, right?
How so?
Because that's a fictitious law.
Aaron, object to...
Yeah, I mean, we recognize the United States Code as valid law. I understand that there are some who hold an opinion contrary to that, but in this court, we do recognize it as valid law. Okay,
well,
so...
But the DOJ declared it. It's on their website.
Okay. Do you have any other questions you'd like to ask Officer Horsley about the facts of this case?
Okay, do you know, it is legal under Utah law for anyone to purchase any and possess hemp extract or CBD oil if it contains less than 0.3% Utah medical policy.
Just to confirm, you said hemp and CBD.
Yeah, with less than 0.3%.
Mr. Detroit, maybe you could give reference to the law that you're looking at on Utah State Code.
It's under the Farms Act.
Okay, you have a specific section of the Utah State Code.
That's code. Utah CBD, HB 0227.
That's not a Utah State Code citation.
Yeah, it's from the legislation. And that's what you're supposed to follow.
Over here. Utah Code Section 4-41-402.
Where's one? I don't know if I should use that one.
This is the section that prohibits the sale or use of any cannabis product.
Don't have date of birth.
So, do you have any other questions you'd like to ask Officer Horsley?
No signature.
Let's means THC.
I guess maybe we could speed this up.
Oh, here.
We'll take notice of the fact that you believe that there's something called the Farmers Act that allows possession of a THC product that has less than 0.03 what measurement unit?
0.03.
0.03 what measurement unit? Grams, pounds.
Percent.
Sign this one.
Okay, I'll just take note
And then
that that's something that you're advocating for today. Do you have any other questions that you'd like to ask?
And it's 26B-4-201.
There's no 26B41 of that subsection code.
I have it right here under Utah.
Mr. Detroit, I'll ask you one more time, and then we got to end this if you're not going to ask any other questions. Do you have any questions to ask Officer Horsley?
Did anyone tell you that how to proceed with filing these charges?
Did anyone tell me how to proceed with filing? No, I filed these charges after coordinating with other officers. It's a pretty normal practice to kind of, towards the end of an investigation, kind of go over what we have. And then from there, if there's applicable charges, other officers will kind of throw that out there. But ultimately, filing for charges was my decision.
Okay. How come you didn't sign the narrative?
The one that you brought in a couple days ago?
Yes.
I was not court ordered by a judge to sign that for you in person.
But you have to.
Once again, have any questions you'd like to ask him? I'll ask you one last time. If you limit your interactions to questions, you're welcome to keep asking. If not, otherwise, have any cross.
Is it policy for you to sign it after you write a narrative, or
Is this in regards to your last question?
what's? Oh, I'm just asking in general.
Policy to sign
Yes.
affidavits?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I'll have to go back to your policy. I'm not sure on that one.
You're not sure on that one. Would it be in another aspect of a different case if someone didn't sign, an officer didn't sign it, would it hold up as a true testament or a statement of facts?
So I want to make sure I'm understanding. Are you saying if an officer doesn't sign the affidavit, then goes to court to testify about said affidavit, does that still hold up in court? To answer your question, I didn't sign yours and I'm still here, so I would assume if they didn't sign it, yes, I can still testify on the affidavit that I did not sign.
Okay, but isn't there a procedure, just like criminal procedures?
When I file and send the report off, there's an electronic little thing at the bottom saying, I submit this under lawful truth. If that's what you're referring to, then yes, I have sent that affidavit. I just did not sign the one that you personally brought in.
I don't have that anywhere. And
Mr. Short, I'll remind you once again, the police report, any narrative submitted in the police report is not before the court at this time. What is before the court is the officer's testimony. I want to give you an opportunity to ask the questions that are relevant to this case, but once again, if you continue to ask the same kind of questions that I told you, or make the same kind of statements that I told you are not allowable, then I've got to end this. So, I'll give you one last opportunity. Do you have any other questions about the facts of this case that you would like to ask Officer Worsley?
What other officers were by the patrol car besides you and Paige?
I believe it was me and Corporal Page. Those were the main ones by the car. Other people were just coming in. I mean, it is a parking lot, so other officers were in and out.
Is there a Officer Hawks or?
In general, or yes, there's an Officer Hawks in general.
Yes, and he didn't have any communication by the car that day?
He did say bye to me as I was driving off.
Well, that was good. Do you believe there was a different motive why I was arrested besides these unlawful charges?
Not including your warrant, or what do you mean?
Just in general.
Because they're not going to object to vague. I'll allow him to answer. So if I understand the question, Mr. Pachorik was wondering if there was an unlawful motive for his arrest. Officer Worsley said, besides the charges and the warrant.
Yeah, besides.
And Mr. Pachorik said just in general. So I guess the question that is posed to Officer Worsley is, was there an unlawful motive for arresting Mr. Pachorik?
No, it was primarily based off the felony warrants.
Okay.
He's
Any other
like
questions?
giving legal advice. It's crazy.
Was the seatbelt working
Okay.
in the car?
We're we're going to go ahead and end this cross-examination. Officer Worsley, welcome to have a seat. Mr. Chambers, any other evidence or witnesses that the city wants me to consider? No, Your Honor. Okay, the city rests. Mr. Couture, you have an opportunity, if you'd like, to take the stand and testify and present any evidence to the court that you want me to consider. Would you like that opportunity?
Yes. And I'm seeking a continuance because of trickery in the court, which I can show you.
Yeah, let's see what he's got.
Because of me trying to communicate with people, and I was getting wrong email addresses that were links that I talked to. I would be better prepared to bring the evidence that would prove my case.
What evidence would you want to bring with you that you can't?
The recordings, computer subpoena on other people.
So, first of all, tell me what recordings you got in?
Yes.
Okay, we've already made a ruling on those that they're irrelevant. You said records on other people.
Oh, and pictures.
Okay, what pictures did you not receive?
What's that?
What pictures did you not receive?
No, that I want to present.
Okay, and is there something that's prohibiting you from presenting those today right now?
You'll see one thing on my phone, but not the recording. Because I was sending a lot of stuff to Chambers, but he wasn't getting it because he didn't.
Most of this affidavit difficult to interpret, but as I understand what you were alleging, you feel that because you are a journalist, the First Amendment protects you from this kind of lawsuit, and you also state that God made this medicine to cure you, and you believe that the First Amendment protects you from this type of prosecution because the government is prohibited from making a law respecting an establishment of religion and its free exercise. So the court will scan this into its file and attach it to your case. You've asked for a continuance because of trickery in the court. The court has not found any trickery at this time. So I'll ask you one last time, Mr. Couture. You have an opportunity, although you don't have an obligation to testify. In fact, you have a right not to testify if you'd like to, but we want to at least give you that opportunity to testify if you would like and present evidence to the court. Would you like to testify if you don't have to?
With a change of venue, too.
Okay. What's the basis for the change of venue?
Conflict of interest.
Who has a conflict of interest?
Because,
the question is, who has a conflict of interest?
I do. I mean, this court does.
Okay, tell me what the basis of that conflict is.
You guys are all working together. I mean, they work for you. And a page on my recording says that he doesn't investigate their own.
Okay. So you understand the idea of the three branches of the government, is that right?
Executive, judicial, and
Yes, so I'm in the judicial branch of government. It's completely separate from the executive branch, which is the prosecutor and the police department. So I'm going to deny your request for a change of venue. I'll ask you one last time, and if you don't respond, then we're just going to have to be done accepting notice. You don't have to testify on your own behalf, but I want to at least give you that opportunity if you would like. Would you like to take the stand and testify on your own behalf today?
No, I mean, you're going to do what you're going to do. I mean, because of, all the evidence I have in this corruption, it's just, it's sad to see that someone can't get a fair trial. And God.
You mentioned you have evidence. Once again, this is your opportunity to present that evidence to the court.
But it's recording.
Okay, yeah, and so if you didn't bring a device to play it on, I understand we can't hear that.
And I asked for a continuance.
Any other evidence that you might be considered?
A continuance.
Okay, I've denied that. As I mentioned, that based upon your explanation of what you anticipate the recordings to show, the recordings are irrelevant to the case, and so under the rules of evidence, I can't allow that in. Do you have any other evidence that you would like to be considered today?
This is from the smoke shop.
Okay.
They have a card.
Oh, you looked at my phone.
Why don't you hand that to the officer, and then officer, if you'll show the prosecutor, and then I'll take
And I
what
gave
you do.
it to
Okay, thank you. Any other evidence you'd like me to consider?
No, I call for a motion to dismiss.
Okay, and what are the basis for the motion to dismiss?
On grounds that it's federal and state law saying that you can carry this unless all you have to do is have an ID and be an age of 21 and over.
Okay, and I'll ask you one last time, if you could provide me a reference to that law, specifically Utah state law would be helpful. I'd be happy to look that up right now. The law that you gave me last time did not say what you said it would, but I'm happy to have the opportunity to cite the specific law.
That's a scam of its own. Where's that card? Oh, so.
Okay. Starts. I would like to present in May 2019, Utah received approval from the U.S.
I need the citation to the code section.
Well, it's policy and policy.
Okay, what's the reference, the specific citation to the policy? typically, if it's a rule or regulation, then it would start with R.
THC product that Utah Hemp and Cannabinoid Act 4-41 was signed into law.
4-41
was signed into law in 2019.
Okay, so 4-41 is there something else at the end of that?
Was signed into law in 2019, which authorized the Utah Department of Agriculture.
What side are you taking this from?
The 2018 Farm Bill.
All right.
And the DEA. And
okay, I'm going to deny Mr. Pachorik's motion to dismiss. It was founded upon a law that he argues exists, but the court has been unable to find that law, and Mr. Pachorik has been able to provide a citation to that law. Since Mr. Pachorik has indicated that there's no other evidence for the court to consider today, the court will make its ruling. In this case, the two counts are alleged possession of a controlled substance, Class B misdemeanor, occurring on or about July 11, 2023. In count 2, possession of drug paraphernalia, also a Class B misdemeanor, also alleged to have occurred on or about the same date. In order to satisfy its burden in this case, the city would need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Pachorik knowingly and intentionally possessed a controlled substance. And I'll find that the city has met its burden of proof with that particular charge. The evidence that the court has seen today is that what was in Mr. Pachorik's possession was an illegal controlled substance product. Count 2, in order to satisfy its burden of proof, the city would need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Pachorik possessed with the intent to use drug paraphernalia to, among other things,
a bag.
Pack, repack, store, contain, or conceal a controlled substance. I'll find the city's met its burden of proof there as well with the container that held the illegal controlled substance product, the gummy. Mr. Pachorik, because I found you guilty, the next step is to move to sentencing. Sentencing is where the court imposes fines and other penalties. You can be sentenced today, but you have a right to come back on a later date between 2 and 45 days to be sentenced. I anticipate that you're unhappy with my decision and you want to appeal my decision, which is fine. I don't blame you for that. Your right to an appeal begins once you are sentenced. Would you like to be sentenced today, or do you want to come back on a different date to be sentenced? It doesn't make a difference to me, so whatever you would prefer.
different day.
Okay, give me a minute, I'll get you a new date to come back. Now, on this new date, you're welcome to be here in person like you are today. If you want to show up on the video, that's fine too. We'll leave that up to you. Give me a minute, we'll get you a new date to come back. We're going to come back for sentencing January 2nd at 1 o'clock.
Can you get a piece of paper?
Yeah, I can write it down on this side. I can write it on this piece of paper. There you go. Thank you for everything. Good luck with the rest of your day.
All right. You have a great holiday.
Thanks, you as well. Appreciate that.
As well, January 2nd.
That's great.
It's always by the holidays.
Yeah.
Usually I'm locked up on July 4th.
Hopefully not this coming July.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
God's in control. Thank you. This corporation. That's sad. Why not do this?
Talking to
But
everybody.
you know, they're just dividing us. Do you understand that?
You're good to go now.
Can I?
Yeah, we're not gonna talk to you about it.
Folks like that.
We're just here for security. We have no choice.
I'm trying to help out the people. This is what I get persecuted. Do you have kids? Do you have kids?
Get your stuff and let's head out.
And might I add, I seen the officers talking to the prosecutors and that. There was a whole bunch of people in there. It was weird. Yeah, no conflict of interest.
It's a conflict of interest. Why is Paige?
I'm not gonna ask you again. Let's go.
Why is Paige talking to the prosecutor? See? Conflict of interest. It's beautiful there. You know that's treason, though. Color of law. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. I pray for you.